and welcome back to Leslie Through the Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Leslie. I'm so happy to have you here. For our returning viewers, as always, thank you so much for coming back and supporting my channel. Alright guys, I am back with another Mental Health Monday video today. I apologize if you hear like a little bit of background noise. My washing machine is running, so I hope it's not too loud. It's almost done though, so I figured I wanted to get started so I don't run out of time. So I just want to wish everybody a belated happy Mother's Day. Whether you're a mom, a godmother, a aunt, a fur mom, whatever the case may be, someone who's wanting to become a mom, somebody who's lost their child, whoever you are, however you fit into the role of motherhood, we celebrate you. I think it's really important that we acknowledge that it's more than just moms with babies, and it takes on a lot of forms. And I just want to wish everybody that happy Mother's Day, no matter where you fall on that spectrum. And then I'm just going to talk a little bit about holidays and the anxiety factor and stuff like that, because it's something I really had on my mind a lot this weekend, and share with you a little bit of my struggle with it, and just kind of, if you do struggle with these holidays, just let you know you're not alone. It can be really challenging, and a lot of people don't understand it, because holidays are supposed to be fun and happy, and they're not always that way. So obviously Sunday was Mother's Day, and I want to preface this by saying my Mother's Day was fantastic. My husband spoiled me, and he did a bunch of stuff around the house and just let me kind of have a lazy, relaxing day, snuggling with Amelia, and like just what I needed. It was wonderful. But leading up to the holiday, I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, a lot of emotions, and it's hard because I think we're so groomed as a society to like fit ourselves into these boxes, and it really can bring up a lot of like feelings of guilt and stuff like that. And that's when you're dealing with your mental health and you're dealing with your situation, whatever it may be, the last thing you need on top of it is being like feeling guilty. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. So I am beyond grateful that I was lucky enough to have a viable pregnancy and have our sweet daughter. Beyond grateful. Words cannot begin to describe how much that means to me, and acknowledge how big of a gift that is, because not everybody gets that. Not everybody has that chance. And for me, I'm so grateful. But just because I'm so grateful and I love her so much and I'm thankful for being her mom, it doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to also have a feeling of sadness of what I'm still grieving that we lost. And it's really hard when those two thoughts are both in your head. And, you know, I think we always try to tell ourselves, like, we're not supposed to be sad about this because we should feel grateful. We do have this, or whatever the case may be. And it's okay to have both those thoughts. It doesn't mean you have to feel guilty because you feel sad about something that you lost, whether it's your first loss or your fifth loss, or you've had kids in between or not, or whatever the case may be. Like, whatever loss you are grieving, you are allowed to feel however you need to feel. And that's something I've really been struggling with, because I am so grateful for so much of my life, but I'm still healing and I'm still struggling at times. And the holidays are when my grief has really like been amplified, and I'm really like hyper aware of it. So I will say I'm lucky. I had a conversation on Saturday that really just, with a neighbor who just really kind of put my mind at ease, and, you know, was like, you're allowed to feel however you need to feel for however long you need to feel it. And it doesn't matter. And nobody can tell you not to feel that way. And nobody should tell you not to feel that way. And that's what I needed to hear. You know, it's just, it's hard. There's so many people that are so happy for the holidays, but they still have that like bittersweet moment where they're also grieving something or sad or feel uncomfortable because they have something they're not sharing with everybody or that they're dealing with internally that maybe not everybody knows, and it's really hard. So I just, I just like to share my experience of what I go through so you know that you are not alone if you are feeling similarly. Even if you're not feeling similarly and you're dealing with something totally different, your feelings are valid. And that's the big thing with Mental Health Month and everything that I've been like seeing is validating all of those feelings and thoughts, and it's okay. It's fine. However you need to feel, that's fine. Nobody can tell you that it's not, because it's your feelings. Now, that being said, I think it's important to make sure that you're dealing with those feelings in the healthiest manner you can. And there's lots of things that compound this. I'm going through really big ups and downs still, like high peaks and valleys. And one of the things that I told my therapist that I think is really hard is when you have anxiety, you want to control everything, right? Like that's how you work through your anxiety, is you give yourself facts, you put yourself in control of the situation, and that's what you do. Sorry, my washer's done. Sings us a little song. So I think for me right now is I feel very out of control because I don't know what I want my next step to be. I don't know if we try again for another child, because if, God forbid, this was to happen again, I do not know that I'm mentally strong enough to handle it and come out whole and not really lose part of myself in an unhealthy way. It's a very big fear of mine. But at the same time, I'm also not 100% sure that I won't regret not trying if I decide, I'm not able to do this again. And it's a conversation my husband and I have had. And he has expressed how he feels and where he's at. And ultimately, I need to come settle where I'm at. And I hate that feeling of indecisiveness and not knowing and not feeling confident in any decision that I make. So that being said, I feel very out of control. I feel very anxious, and it's showing other places too. I'm seeing a lot of my habits, my headaches, stuff like that. I'm seeing, so I'm working really hard on doing what I can to contain and control my anxiety while feeling out of control, and it's been a very big challenge. There are days I'm really good at it, and then days I don't have a grip at all. Last week I went off the deep end with my feelings. I did not fully keep my kids safe, in my opinion. And she's fine. I mean, she didn't get seriously injured or anything, but she did take a fall, and it was directly a cause of something that I could have done to stop it. And when that happened, kids fall off things, they have accidents. You can't keep your kid in a bubble. I know that. Today I can talk about it with you guys and let you know, I completely understand that this is a normal part of childhood and everything was fine. She cried for a minute. She was back to, bouncing around in no time at all. I was sick to my stomach. I felt like the worst mom in the world. I felt like I couldn't even take care of my kid. My anxiety spiraled, and by the end of the night, I was, this is why they didn't, this is why this happened. I can't even keep my one kid safe. The greater being decided that I couldn't keep a second baby safe, and really went off the deep end. And just kind of let all of that emotion out and could not reel it back in. And I knew in the moment that I wasn't being logical. I knew my child was safe at that point in time. But with my anxiety and my emotions and my feelings, I just really could not control it. And it's really hard when you have those moments. But I'm over a year into therapy, year and a half now, close to. I do a pretty good job most days, but I still have days where I don't do a great job. And I think that's the important thing is I don't think it ever goes away for most people. I don't think, unless your anxiety and everything is completely circumstantial, um, and you can like solve that circumstance, your anxiety doesn't go away. You just learn the best way to deal with it so it doesn't interfere with your daily life. And I do really well with it, I think, most of the time. I feel like I've done a really good job of getting to a moderately healthy place. I obviously still have areas I can improve upon, but this just shows you like you have setbacks, you have not so great days. Those days are okay, and it's important because it shows you kind of in a way how far you've come most days, and it also shows you that you got to stay on, be vigilant and stay on top of your work, because that's what it is. It's a lot of work to get to a healthy place, and it's really hard, but it's worth it. And yeah, so it's okay to have setbacks. The next day could look at everything that happened with a much clearer brain. I felt a lot better about things. I was able to, in a way, letting that emotion out and, getting it kind of out in the universe made me feel a little bit better. I wasn't holding everything in as much. But yeah, so it was kind of a roller coaster of a week, but that happens, and it's really hard when it happens, and I kind of beat myself up on it for a couple days, but then I have to take a step back and look at how it was only a day or two that I really struggled, and then I was able to like get back to an okay place, and that's the important part. That's the part I'm focusing on, and all I can do is take it day by day, work on continuing to heal, and trying to keep myself from a negative place. So yeah, don't ever feel alone if you have these setbacks. Don't think you're failing because you have a setback. It's just part of the way it works. It's part of the healing process. It's part of just dealing with the anxiety. All right, guys, I think that's it. I kind of jumped all over the place a little bit with the Mother's Day stuff, and then just general anxiety stuff last week. But again, just trying to share my experiences. I, by all means, do not have it figured out. As you can tell by my meltdown I had last week, not even close. But if I can share my stories and make anybody feel less isolated, if I can help open up this dialogue, start destigmatizing this topic and just make it more mainstream, that's my only hope. We don't need to feel bad for having these kind of issues, and we should be not worried that we're making somebody else uncomfortable if it's something that we feel okay talking about. So that's what I'm here to do. As you guys know, it is Mental Health Month, so just, if you're here, you're already supporting it, but just try to keep in mind that there's so many people struggling, and just be kind. Share your stories if you find the opportunity. Help be a voice in the community that's trying to just make this topic not so negative or taboo. I will be back on Wednesday with a small shop showcase again. I'm really excited. It will be Maddie on Main Street is the small shop that I'll be featuring Wednesday. And then I will be back Saturday, I think, with a pin video for you guys. And then next Monday, I think we're gonna go over, just regular Mental Health Monday stuff. But I think that we are going to do a little sneak peek at a little mini giveaway for Mental Health Month. So make sure you tune in for that. If you guys didn't watch, I was part of a fairy godmother swap yesterday, and it was so much fun. There were 21 channels total involved, and I had such a special box. So if you haven't watched that, go back and check it out because it was really fun, and I'd love for you guys to see what I got. If you haven't already, please consider hitting subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification next to it to be alerted every time I post new content. And drop in the comments below what you guys did for Mother's Day, how you celebrated, or if you struggled with the holiday, whatever it was. Let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys and getting to know you through those stories and comments. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time.